It's an article about Democrat scandals versus conservative scandals, and he talks about labeling, and Ace does what he always does best, and he takes the general understanding the media is leftist, but he takes us deeper into that and helps us really pick it apart and understand this particular tactic that they use is a way of, and it helps you to read more good, because when you're reading and you're aware of these tactics, you see them all the time and you see them everywhere, and you learn to identify when you're being manipulated and how the manipulation is happening. And it's important for us to know this so that we can fight against it, so that we can help others to identify it as well, and so that we can, I don't know, maybe use some of those tactics ourselves. And he talks specifically about Democrat scandals can never be reported straight, but must always be controversialized, by noting that the GOP is seizing on reports of the scandal. And he talks specifically about the VA scandal and how I think most of us remember all the stories of the VA scandal and how any rational human being would have been shocked and appalled about what was really happening at the VA. And any rational human being would want to fix it and punish the people who had made it happen, get them fired, get the policies changed, and make it turn around. But the left absolutely didn't want to acknowledge that their man Obama had any association with anything that had gone wrong. And they also saw that acknowledgement that the VA was a disaster could threaten the concept of big government takes care of everybody beautifully and is the solution. And also they're aware that to many people the VA is the example of what government-provided health care would be. If America ever had an NHS, it would be the VA for everybody, because that's government-provided health care. So on the progressive left, the VA scandal could never be allowed to be a scandal that really got fixed. It had to be controversialized. And that means that every time you hear about the VA scandal, you hear about the GOP attacking, or the GOP, it's always referred to as a GOP-led scandal, and that Republicans are continuing to bring it up. And they're the ones who make sure that it is seen as a left versus right thing rather than a right versus wrong thing.
And this is the quote that I thought was really great. This, then, is what I think Cheryl Atkinson meant by controversializing an issue. Partisan, I can't say that word, izing it, is making it seem as if there is a progressive side and a conservative side. And the conservatives are, of course, liars. And even if they're not, it's all just a big, silly political food fight anyway. And only an extreme partisan would take sides in a big, silly political food fight. Therefore, anyone reporting on the VA scandal must himself be an extreme partisan. After all, if it's just a big political food fight, who else but partisans would weigh in? Thus does the media turn all stories about Democrat malfeasance into mere political name-calling squabbles.
And that's exactly true. We see it in our social media streams. The Democrat media tactic of partisanizing everything has been so completely effective. You can't mention Benghazi without somebody saying old story, silly partisan squabble, and that's so shocking to us, because to us these are human beings. This is real. And the people on the left genuinely believe that it is simply a partisan food fight, and they want to be above partisanship. And so they think that these are not issues that are worth discussing. And it's genuine, and it's not that the people on social media who dismiss all mentions of Benghazi and VA, it's not that they're evil, and it's not that they don't care about the 4 people that died. It's that they genuinely believe that these are silly partisan squabbles and that the GOP won't let anything go. They really sincerely believe it. And I don't know, it's great. Thank you very much, Ace, for helping me see this and helping me learn. Now, what do we do about it? There may be a seed to a solution here. In fact, in the way Ace is talking about Hillary and the Clinton Foundation story. Um, And, no, it's a story about Democrat malfeasance and thus must be transformed from a story that should bother any patriotic citizen into a mere political squabble. No, the squabble must be between Hillary and GOP critics who seize upon reports of malfeasance as if the GOP alone stands against the bribery of high political officials. And that right there, that phrase right there might be a seed of an answer. So it's only the GOP that cares about the bribery of officials? And maybe that's the question we ask back to those who are dismissing our claims. So it's only the GOP that cares about an ambassador being murdered? So it's only the GOP that cares about individuals being targeted for their politics by the IRS? So it's only the GOP that cares about? That doesn't bother you? Interesting.
Oh my gosh. What if Hillary is the Democrats' John McCain 2008? We all sucked it up. We all went to the polls, but we didn't like it. We weren't very happy about it.
Right.
What if that's her?
That is her.